Let's work it now. Let's work it now. Let's see. Let's see with the G. I am showing up right there on the restream. That means I should be showing up on the Twitcheroo. Let's see what's happening with the Pastor G. Showing the broadcast back up. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, man. Looks like we're going again. I sure hope. I sure hope so. This is getting old. All right, now I gotta go back over there, shut off all these lights again. We're gonna get it working, man. We're gonna get it working. Promise you, promise you, promise you. Yep, 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 yep. All right, so my chat should be good and ready to go up there. Make sure that I'm showing the same chat. Follow G, man. So you can see him crash and burn. All right, let me get this. X out some of this stuff because it showed me too much stuff. I don't want it all. It says unstable, man. Why am I unstable? I shouldn't be unstable. I should be plenty stable. Poor network connection. It shouldn't be. That ain't my issue. That might be one of my issues. That ain't my issue. The issue is my computer just died on me, man. Uh-oh. I was about to say, come on, camera. Pick me up. All right. There we go. Getting back on the face now. Sorry, man. Sorry. Things happen. Things happen, right? Make sure restream's still working. Okay, we're good there. Let me bust this and here out again. That's why I like to keep all this stuff going, so I make sure what's going on, man. If I can't keep an eye on it, next thing I know it done died on me, and I'm like, what? Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, so we got that back up. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We back though. We back though. Hopefully we're gonna stick around a little while. Mission and vision, man. Mission and vision. Yay, he's back. Yeah, man, my computer died, man. It like never does that. And for whatever reason, it decided to die. I'm like, what in the world, man? If it ain't one thing, it's something else, ain't it? I mean, it's like I stream, thankfully, I stream every Sunday using that same computer, and it's never died during the service. And I ain't gonna say too much about it. I gotta figure out where my lights at, man. Even my app here ain't showing me right stuff. Even Alexa ain't showing me right stuff. I'm gonna turn some lights off real quick. There we go. But yeah, man, I walked over there, it was like locked up. Like completely locked up. It's been a long time since it's done that. My darkness going again. Alright, but anyway. We're gonna try it again. Hopefully this ain't no Monday kind of thing again. I don't think it is. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't do nothing to the computer. I hardly ever shut it down, but for some reason, it should apparently need to shut down. So it's alright. So yeah, let me get a few more of these in. Get that arm going. Technology has not been nice past. No, it has not, man. I don't know what's up. Now last week I tried a different hub, USB hub, and I think that it was losing connection with my camera. And I do have a little issue. I mean, this camera is 50 foot away from that desk right now. And I'm trying to use it through a regular USB. I mean, it's got power to it as well. But I think there's too many USBs on that computer. And there's not enough ports. And so I tried to buy a hub that I can power, and I tried a different one, it's like an expensive one, that you can also power up. And it's the second time I tried it. First time I tried it, realized it didn't also charge the laptop, which is fine. That laptop doesn't work like that. I had to buy a special dock for it. But anyway, So that little camera, my little Osbot camera, my little AI camera, it's difficult sometimes because it's so far away. And you can do it over the network, but I gotta buy the piece to do that, which is $100. Then I also gotta buy the subscription to be able to do that, which is another $100. And like I say, man, I'm balling on a budget, man. All right, so we're gonna bust out some bench press. What do we want to start with? I need to just start with something light, just so I can make sure what I can do. I say light. So let me ask you this. When you were going to gyms, what was the biggest taboo you saw someone do? I don't know, man. You see some weird stuff in the gym. I think, you know, the biggest problem I usually see is people moving too fast, trying to work out. Or I think there's one dude, man, he was like, he was doing the chest flies on the machine. And he was just, it was weird, man. I don't know. Other than that, I just can't. For me, another issue of going to the gym, man, is you have some girls that come in there that just be wearing some skimpy stuff. And I didn't need that. Don't need to be looking at that. So, but that ain't why I stopped going. that's just the other issue of being in the gym. But oops, can't be doing that. Got my laptop behind me. I'm about to lay, not the laptop, my iPad, about to lay down on it. The other thing I hate, man, is people that go in there and they work out and they don't wipe off their bench and stuff, their equipment. I always try to do that. I always think about the ladies. All right. So I like dumbbells, man, 'cause I can get a real good stretch too. As long as my shoulder holds out, I'll be all right. This ain't but 2 little 25s, man. But it's enough to get started with. This is true, they don't make it easy to focus. Nah, man, they don't make it easy to focus. Yeah. Yeah, so, but I mean, for the most part, that wasn't that big an issue. It's just that's one other thing about when you go to the gym that you gotta see as well. The yoga pants and all that junk, or well, not even pants. Some of them just like shorts, so it's super tight. But I don't know, man. It wasn't bad. I like the gym. I really do. It's just once COVID came, you know, and how it kind of ruined everything. And then now I got all this. I wrestled this year, really. I was thinking about going back to the gym because my thing has always been staying consistent. And even with my home gym, quote unquote, it's hard for me to stay consistent. And that's why I decided to do it via streaming. All right, so 25 is the biggest steel ones I got. And I don't think that's near enough. Now I got 30 pounds on here right now. I'm gonna up it a little bit. So that's 30. Yeah, because 5 of the handle. The plate is 5. If I do that, it'd be 30, 35, 40. Yeah, so this would be 40 pounds. Hopefully I got enough plate for this. And this is the problem, not having adjustables. But these change out pretty quick. I can't complain too much. But I got to get the whole other one set up for this. Whereas like power block or something, you know, to reach down, change the setting, whatever. But these do look cool though. Like little mini dumbbells. Home gym is ideal in many ways. Hey, Sleepy brother, what's up, man? Welcome. You missed all the technical, well, hopefully you missed all the technical issues I was having. We done crashed again, man. We crashed and burned tonight. My whole computer just shut down on me. I was telling Shaq, man, that ain't never happened. I ain't gonna say never happened, but it's been a long time since I've had that computer shut down on me. And so it's more than, oops, It was more than just the freeze, the camera freezing like we had last time. And so, man, I'd love to have me a big old rack of dumbbells like they got in the gym. Up to about 90 pound, 95 pound set. Yeah, I'd like to have that. Because then you just walk up to the rack, pick off what you want, right? These ain't too bad. Just give me a little breather time, I guess. Might cut into my I was gonna say working on this. It might cut into my preaching time, teaching time, whatever you want to call it. We figuring it out, right? Sometimes you do stuff just to figure it out, and we figuring it out on Twitch. They are, man. It is. It's at least $1 a pound, if not more, right? And I'll find stuff on Marketplace, you know, Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, selling out the whole gym, but won't separate." I'm like, "Come on, dude." And then if they got weights, they look like those. There. What? 2, 3. Man, I love this though. I had to go more reps, so I'm going light. I mean, really, might as well go buy some cinder blocks. That's it, man, no doubt. I don't know, man, there is just something about dumbbells and the stretch you get and all, man. It's like, that's the first time I've really done even near heavy with dumbbells. That's the first time I've done bench down here at all with dumbbells. And I don't know, man, it felt good. It felt good. I cannot complain other than just having to do this every time. But I'm about to max out with my dumbbells, man. I think this will be 45. Yeah, 45 each side. Like that, it's 4. Yeah, 20, 40. Yeah, okay. That's one thing. I also got a math. Gotta be tough to get up because you can't put them. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't put them down on your knees, man. That's another thing to think about when you look at the adjustables. Are they flat on the ends? Yeah, you know they go so heavy. You could put, I mean, yeah, you probably gonna get, I might could do 60, 65, something like that on here. And that ain't bad for a dumbbell. But you ain't gonna do no 80, 90 unless you got some bigger 2-inch plates. And then just like those look like mini barbells. 4, trying to make sure. I've got more than I can do right now, I'll say that, and do it safely. Like I said, man, this is it. You gotta break them down, right? But for a Wal-Mart set, they ain't bad. You can get them off Amazon too. But I really got them just for the weights more than the dumbbells. So I'm like, I don't want to work with those. But guess what? We working with them, man. I said, going back to the whole talking about mission and vision. Have the same dumbbells you got with the clamp on the end. Right, yeah. I hated them things, man. That's what I said. When I was growing up, that's like all we ever got. You had the clamp that go on, and you had the set screw. A little set screw like that or whatever. And I always wanted the stars. And my dad didn't ever buy them. So I didn't do a whole lot of working out when I was young, but we did do a little bit. But these are definitely safer. I do have to kind of throw them up like that. I get that balance back too. Not too bad. I say, man, it's a good pull, good stretch. But I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, man, how I'd like to have some adjustables. I'm like, man, I hate to spend that money, but you know what I'm saying? One of these days. Whew, how much y'all want to add on there? That's my question now. I don't know. I'm just gonna add I'm gonna add 5 more pounds to each of them. That's about all I can do anyway. I ain't got no more big plates. I'm gonna max out for y'all, man. Oh goodness. See, man, at least you have fun with it, right? As long as I don't hurt myself, I'm having fun. Oh, I did forget to do that. Apple's like, you working out again, man? I can tell your heart's racing. Tighten that one down, flip her around. Got any advice on how to deal with a breakup? Man, you know, I wanted to ask you how things were going. And so you tell me how things are going. I'm assuming not real well, right? You're talking about the breakup. Don't do. Yeah, pretty much how it goes. Not a text and not a note. I don't know, man, if it's over the spiritual side, then, you know, hey, I think you just have to, I don't know, dude, it's always hard. It's gonna be good for the long run, though, but man, it's not easy. Anyway, no, not at all, man, no doubt. Yeah. All I can say, dude, is look here, baby. It ain't you, it's me. Sorry. Please try to make it soft, you know. Nah, but I don't know, you know, you be real with it. You know, it really, you're headed on different paths. And that's it. I mean, you know, hey, I think we're going down 2 different paths, and we're getting further apart than closer together. And so that ain't good for either one of us. Neither one of us want to be in that kind of relationship, right? And so be upfront with her. I know it's hard, no doubt. That's why the letter, the text, I know all about that, man. Maybe not text, because we didn't do text back then, but I'm old, remember? I'm old, man. I'll definitely be praying about it, man, no doubt. Ooh, these are a little heavy. Be careful of that shoulder. Ooh. Ah, yeah, man. You already broke up. It's been a few weeks. Well, shoot, man. How you handling it? I mean, how you getting along? Whoo, goodness. So now we're gonna break it down a little bit. I gotta do flies now. I ain't even tracking, man. I don't even know what I started off with. What I started off with? 35? Yeah. 35, we did 8. Then we did 45. And we did 12. And that's 50. Right? 20, 20. Yeah, 50. 50 times 12. I'm about 20 pounds shy as I was last time. Getting a little better, but as time goes on, definitely struggling with it. Man, that's, you know, honestly, dude, it's that's part of it, right? I mean, that's, it sucks, it sinks, but especially if you're alone, you know, you ain't already found somebody else, all that good stuff, so it makes it harder. Because then you start questioning, did I make the right decision? And so, I'm gonna tell you, dude, you gotta find the reason, I'm gonna say this, the reason it always helps is you have another girl. And I ain't trying to tell you to do this, just listen to me. Is because it gives you something else to focus on. And somebody to take up that void. And so, if you already broke up with her, you gotta find something to fill that void, right? And fill that time with. And you know what I'm gonna tell you? It's time to get into the Word. It's time to start working on that relationship with the Lord. You need that focus. You need to focus on something other than what you feel like you're missing out on. And that don't mean it's easy. That don't mean it's gonna solve every problem all of a sudden. I don't lie, man. I tell you straight up. I went out and bought a Bible the other day. Cool. Man, you need help understanding something, you know, hit me up. And there's also, you know, a lot of Bible apps and stuff out there too, just so you know. And I can point you to all kinds of different resources and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, and I'm going to encourage you, I don't know how much, you tell me how much familiarity you have with the Bible to begin with. I want to say, even whenever you can't understand some of the stuff you're reading, keep reading. There's still stuff I read today I don't understand, and I've been doing it for about 30 years. And so, it's kind of the cool thing about the Word, and it's also kind of the frustrating thing about the Word. But work on reading, work on truly spending time with the Lord, and I'm gonna get back to the whole kind of the same thing I'm talking about, you know, with tonight, as far as the whole mission and vision idea. You know, where do you want to be? What is your vision for yourself? And especially whenever it comes down to your faith. Yeah, got questions are good. Especially if it comes down to your faith, you know, what do you see it being? Where do you see it being in a year or 2 years or 5 years, you know? And I always hate those questions. You know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But there's some truth to it. And so I'm going to recommend definitely getting into the Word. You already get out and walk. You already get out and hike. You already get out. I remember that, you know. You have your physical activity going on. Because that's one thing about Christ, man. When you read about him, how often he would go out by himself. He'd go out walking by himself. That's like one of my things too, dude. It's like, if I really want to get away from things, now I do take the dog, which sometimes I wish I wouldn't take the dog. sometimes better to not take the dog, to go walking through my park down the road. But that's time for, you know, quietness and getting in touch with the Lord and all that. All right, this might be, we're gonna put these down for now. We're about to do flies. And I'm gonna start light, because again, I don't know where my shoulder is. So this ain't but 15 here. Whew. And like I always say, man, when you're doing the flies, hug the tree. That keeps your form right. Hug the tree. Yeah. And I try to keep my arms locked and let the chest be the one to do most of the pulling up. I mean, maybe it's, you know, I'm gonna read some scripture here in a minute, and maybe that'll speak to you as well. Get this warm up out of the way. Tough to say in 5 years, but would definitely like to have some development in faith. I don't know exactly what that looks like though. That's it, man, yeah. Let's go! And I don't know where my faith's gonna be in 5 years, as long as I still got my faith, right? Hopefully get a community, there you go. That is a great word right there. Get a community of people with similar beliefs. Find you a church. Find you a community to hang out with. And I don't know, you know, what you got around you, what kind of churches you got around you, anything like that. You know, a physical church is always the best, I will say that. I do pastor a digital church, INNOVATE church, and be glad to have y'all on with us, you know, if you want to pop on Sunday with us. But trying to think what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, hook and break out the word, that's right. Where's my sword at? There we go. And so, you know, just to get your feet wet, maybe that's it, you know. I don't know if your parents go, if you got family or anybody that goes to church around you or not. So, Habakkuk, one of the prophets in the scriptures. How do I pick the right church? So, all right, we'll get this here shortly. Honestly, dude, you have to research them. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. If it's churches around you, go online and find their website. And while you're on their website, start looking around, seeing what you can learn about them. And a lot of them today, you know, we're all posting our services online and on YouTube or showing on our website, whatever. And so at least lets you see what the service is like, and that may help you to see what the music is like, or what the pastor is like, or what the preaching is like, and you may be able to see what the atmosphere looks like, you know. And then really, honestly, dude, you just got to start getting out and going and visiting. When I stepped out of my church, whenever I realized, you know, God's call, He was calling me to start a church, I hadn't been outside of my church in probably 20 years because I worked in the church. And first thing I did though, I didn't look them up online. I just knew there's some churches around me that had just recently started in the last number of years. And so I got out and started visiting them. You know, that helped me to see what else was out there and others. And even in that, I didn't go out to about like 4 or 5, I think 5. And even in that, I was able to see a difference in all of them and able to say, if I wasn't starting my own, I would be going to this one. And just had that little bit of experience, one service really. All right, so we did little flies. That's what I'm gonna call them, little flies. We did 15-pound flies. I think 12 reps. We're gonna bump her up 25 now. But it's like anything else, you know. How do you know a restaurant's good if you ain't never been there before? You might look it up, see what the reviews are on it. Somebody might tell you about it. But most likely you're going to end up going and looking at the menu and picking out something to eat. And really, church is not that much different. You're gonna go, you're gonna see what it's like. They're gonna show you what's on the menu, and you're gonna decide if it's for you or not. And there's a whole lot of other stuff once you get in there, and once your faith is developed, that you might learn things that, oh, I wish they did this, or maybe they're a little, maybe I think a little bit differently on this than they do. And that don't mean that you need to leave the church, but just understand, you know, you might not always agree with everything that they hold to. The minor things, I would call them. Major thing is what they think of Christ. You know, who is Jesus Christ to them? Who is God? How does a person get saved? Those kinds of things. Those are the major things. Oh, what am I doing? I forgot I was doing flies. Oh, feel that on the shoulder. All right, here we go. There. There. What's up, Driven? How you doing, man? Good to see you on tonight. I am doing fine, man. Living the dream, trying to get away from the old technical difficulties we was having, but everything seems to be going good now. And so, yeah, man, talking about how to find the right church. And like I said, you know, honestly, it's a matter of going, seeing what they offer. Ask around. You know, do you know some people that go to church? Nice. Woo. Ask around, see if you know some people that's going around church. And then, I think it's like, faith is like anything else, really, to be honest, besides, you know, it's God who helps us with faith, helps us grow in it, helps call us to Him, helps us seek Him, all that good stuff. But really, you still got to be intentional. And so, and what I mean by that is there are some things you got to do. And so it's kind of like even with the idea of mission and vision, and Habakkuk, as I was going to read earlier, he says, you know, sit down and write down the vision. Write out the vision. Where do you want to be? And what is your, you know, if you say you want to develop in the faith in a couple years, a year, whatever, how are you going to get there? And you're asking the right questions, I'll tell you that. But how you plan on getting to where you want to be. And so that's where it kind of comes with, you know, what's the goal? You know, where, you know, sit down and figure out some things, you know, when it comes to the Bible, what's my goal every day? How much reading am I going to do every day? Prayer, you know, am I going to commit to praying every day? Some of us, we might have the goal of reading the Bible within a year or 2 years or whatever, just reading a chapter a day, those kind of things. And it comes to trying to find a church. I need to sit down and say, okay, this week I'm gonna go check out this one. Next week I'm gonna go check out that one. And those kind of things. And you know, sit down and make a plan, basically. To put it simply, make a plan. I gotta think what I got here. That's 30, okay. Gotta think of my weights. Because if you don't, and that's what I mean by intention, if you don't put work into it, if you don't put intention into it, then a lot of times we just wait on things to happen, and then when they don't happen, then we have other issues. And so we have to put the work in to a degree. You can't just rest on your laurels, right? And so like I say, man, there's all kinds of churches. And I would, again, I don't know how old you are or anything, but a lot of churches today are all very modern, and maybe that might appeal to you, but I would also say don't be afraid to step into an old church. Because for some of us, we might love the old church more than we would even the new church. So it's like me, man, it's like I love the old church, but I am a more of a modern pastor and more of a modern in music and all that good stuff. But there's something about those old school hymns and old school way of doing things that I came from. And so I don't want to forget that, don't want to say anything bad about that. It was like my church was always, at that time, it was trying to be something that wasn't. It wasn't a modern church, and it kept trying to be a modern church. And it never really, it didn't fit, it didn't work. All right. Yeah, man, I like that. I'm refinding, I don't know what I want to do. Refinding my love for dumbbells, man. Whew. All right, what is that? That's 35. Not too bad. I ain't gonna do a 4th set of it, but that's a good call. I might just start going to a different church a week, just see what's out there. I mean, really, that's it, dude. I can't, because number one, I don't live where you do. So I have no idea what's out there. And so again, I would either start going and visiting myself, or if I know somebody or know some people going to certain churches, ask them, hey man, what's your church like? Hey, you mind if I, what time's y'all service? I might show up. And go around and check them out, And it's funny because that's one thing with the digital side. It's not as scary for some of us. I'm very introverted. I know I'm on here, all that good stuff. A lot of us on Twitch are actually introverts. But so walking into a church for the first time I ain't never been to, that's scary. And that's anxiety producing for me. Whereas online, man, you can click up a stream, watch, and don't have to let nobody know you're there, really. Not that you should, but I'm just saying, that's out there. All right, time for the incline fun. Figure out my right level there. But that's what I did, man. When I stepped out, dude, I know for the first 4 weeks, I went to 4 different churches, and I think I ended up I went to a 5th one that was a little bit further away, and checked it out. And it was cool for me, man, because really, and I'll tell you this advice too, when you are there, and whether you're scared or whether you're anxious or not, and you see somebody, like my case is like I would go in, and because of what I was doing, I wanted to meet the pastor. And I would tell him, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm called to start a new church, so I just want to come here and see what your service is like, all that good stuff. Same thing for you, when you go into a church, if you can, I don't want you to get too far out your comfort zone, but if you can, find out who the pastor is or whatever, and just introduce yourself to him. And tell him, say, hey man, just out checking out churches, thought I'd stop in and see what y'all service was like. And now he might ask you for your email, your phone number, all that stuff. Because they want to make contact with you. And that's another thing, I can always speak highly. It seems like some of them are a little bit too much on the pressure side, but really the heart is right in most cases. They just want to be there, be a resource for you. They'd love to get you in the family, so to speak. All right, I think we can bust out some 25s to begin this one. Doing the inclines, incline bench. So again, since I haven't done this in a while, I want to make sure that I'm not overloading myself or trying to do it with too much weight. And so I'm grabbing something that, since I've already done flat bench, I got a little bit of understanding how much weight it is and what my arm can handle or what my chest can handle. You know, so I'm starting out a little bit light, and work up from there. Nothing wrong with going too light, going too little, too small. It's a whole lot better to do that than go too heavy and find yourself in trouble or find yourself hurt. I don't want to be hurt. Too old to be hurt anymore. Another thing, when it's light, you can also slow it down some. Now, then your muscles under more tension for a longer period of time, and that'll also help build more strength. I think this is 12. But again, you know, you have to consider your music style, all that good stuff. Consider what kind of preaching you might like. Because there's some preachers out there you might not like. Some preachers may just be like really dry, really slow. That's good for somebody, maybe not for you. There might be some that's too slick and too fast. And that might not be you either. Or it might be. Whew. Yeah, so Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. And it's kind of my deal. So I had to learn to begin to set goals and actually writing out things or putting things on paper or digital, whatever. And I still wrestle with that somewhat. But like even in the faith thing and even in the fitness thing here, I sat down and I made a plan. And I said, okay, and I actually told some other people to be accountable. I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. And I'm gonna stream 3 times a week. Which the streaming helps me be accountable, so that's kind of the deal. And that'll help me get better physically, strength, mentally, and spiritually. And so it's been good, man. I really like that. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, to give you a future and a hope. I love that because, again, where do you want to be? To get there, honestly, you need to be connected to Christ. He's the one that knows the plans he has for you. And your hope and your prayer is that your plans line up with his plans, that his plans line up with your plans. And when that happens, man, there ain't no stopping you. All right, I gotta figure out what weight I just did. Did 25s. I was like, I remember what I'm doing. And things don't always work out, right? You might try some things, you might try some churches, you might try some things that just don't feel right, or you don't enjoy, or you find out you've already put some kind of investment in it and realize, oh, this ain't what I want to do. That's kind of like even me with the streaming. I tried other things to be on here more. I tried sitting down doing a straight Bible study, doing sermon prep, tried gaming. None of it really stuck. That's why I like this, because it's something I need to be doing anyway. And it's sticking. Maybe I found my thing. Maybe my plan has worked out to be the same plan he has for me. I can tell you when it comes to my church and my preaching and pastoring, that was his plan. Which even this is his plan, not me. But I tried a lot of things in life, trying to find the way to do something. I'm finding my water, y'all, sorry. Trying to find something that was something in my passion, something in my gifting, all that good stuff. It was like, even when I was working in youth ministry, volunteering, I've always loved music. And I listened to a lot of heavy music, all Christian. But I'd got such a passion for it, I started going to all these clubs and everything else to be where they were and hear what they were playing. And I thought about doing a record company and a magazine and all this other stuff, because my heart was to get the kids turned on to the music. Because I'm like, if they were listening to this along with their getting into the Bible and belonging to church or belonging to a youth group, if they were into that, then they also had the music piece and they could see that it's cool, whatever, then that would help them. And one day it just finally clicked. And God opened my eyes and I was like, oh no. I'm like, Lord, are you calling me through this ministry? Now granted, I was already volunteering in it, but this is to set me on the path to working in it. And I say, it's like, I don't say that I heard God speak. All I say is I heard a yes that was not in my own head. And it realized then that my passions, my heart, everything, the things I was into were the things that he was using to get me to where he wanted me to be. And so that's part of the same thing with you. Same thing with all of us, really. God will use our passions, our gifts, our talents, and all that to help drive us to where he needs us to be, if we're open to doing it for him and for the right reason. And so it's like our mission is to glorify and honor him and to do the work that he wants us to do. And when our mission lines up with our vision, or our vision lines up with our mission, man, you can't stop it, right? All right, I think I want to add some weight. I think we're going to add some weight, man. And it's funny, because now I don't really surround, which again, I'm teaching adults and everything now. I pastor adults. I don't push the music as much, although it's still a very big passion of mine. But I listen to stuff that I know my people don't listen to, and that's fine. But just like I love those youth, I love my people. And I'll tell you, it does my heart good to have you on here tonight, Shaq, to have Driven on here, to have Sleepy on here. And I appreciate y'all being on with me. And so, if there's anything I can do or speak or pray for or whatever for y'all let me know. And I do pray for you. I tell you, Shaq, I prayed for you a number of times already since we last on together. And Sleepy and Driven, pray for y'all too. Anybody else out there listening? Let me know you need prayer. I'll pray for you too. Because my hope, man, is for you and for everybody to know the Christ. Life ain't easy, right, yeah. To know the Christ that I know. And I'm not all super spiritual. I don't ever think that I got it all, man. I don't. I wrestle with things. My faith, though, it's definitely a gift from God. Oh, I ain't had it easy. I promise you that. I feel like I got it easier now than I did growing up, but man, I want y'all to know his love. And I know I play a small part in that, but that's my thing. It's like I want to tell everybody to know his love. And when you're on the faith journey, I used to say this all the time. When I felt like I was always on a, oh, you're welcome, bro. It means more to me than I probably do to you. But when I tell people, the faith journey to me is such a roller coaster. It's such excitement. And it's not like excitement like adrenaline pumping kind of excitement. It's just knowing when you get to see those little glimpses of him working in your life and you recognize it and you see it and you know it, the lowest of lows don't overcome that. At least they have not for me yet. It's like I want everybody else to have that experience, man. That's why it's like with youth, I wanted them to know. I didn't want them to waste their years like I did. I was in my 20s before I ever really got serious about my faith, and even then it took a number of my 20 years to start living the faith properly. Because I was trying to live it a little bit during the week and a little bit on the weekend, and not all the time. Ah, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm happy with this. It's funny, you talk about the ends of the bars, you know, not being able to set them on your legs. That's like, even whenever I go up and I'm pressing, a lot of times I'll bring them in and I have to be careful of hitting them together as well. That's just the way I've always done my press anyway. Whew, all right, we started out with 25, did 12, 35, 12, that's 45, 45, 12. So I want to do a 4 set. I think we might. Well, how many we do on the flat? Nah, we only did 3 on the flat. We're gonna do 3 on the incline too. We ain't got to over push it. Running a little bit late anyway after all the tech difficulties. But man, you know, it's funny. You know, it's kind of like I was telling you last time, shite. Oh, yay, garbage. I thought it got banned. Yeah, he did get banned. Okay, good deal. Or you got it, all right. Did you get that driven or did Surreybot get it? I see it on Restream. It's funny. You're able to take care of it on. Okay, good. Twitch took care of it because that's where he put it at, but on Restream I still see it. Which is just a link to something. Who knows what it is. Get the best viewers on whatever website it's trying to tout. Surreybot works pretty good, man. I don't even question it half the time. Look, it's doing your work for you, man. I appreciate you being on, for real. Appreciate you being the mod. And like I said, I always need more people to help out. Again, I know, you know, like I said before, man, I always say, I know y'all got better things you could be doing. So Wednesday night, I don't know what's on TV, but I always appreciate you being on. This kind of experimental in a sense with this whole dumbbell thing, really. But I'm happy, man. My screen has worked tonight. So I don't know if you're on earlier driven or sleepy. But I got me a projector because my issue's always been, you know, seeing the chat. It's like I got a 32-inch or so monitor over there, but I can't see it. I have to walk up to it all the time. So I was like, well, I was thinking about a small TV or something to put here in the middle. And got looking on Amazon, found a cheapo. I decided to look up a projector. Found a $60 projector and a cloth screen. Tried that. It worked pretty good. And then I ordered this real pull down screen because the cloth just kind of soaks up the image too much. But then Monday night it wouldn't come on at all. That was the first of my problems. And so I went on Amazon, found another projector, a little bit more, but it's $90 versus $60. and got it going tonight. And it's brighter, it's bigger, I can see everything clearly. So that's kind of my thing. Is like when I'm doing the elliptical or whatever and I can't read chat, I feel bad because I can't interact. Like I said, that's what I like being on here for, is, you know, the interaction. Rah. Ooh, they're getting a little heavy now. This is 50 pounds now. About to throw them back. Ah, there you go. Wow. There we go. Green, let's go. That's it. Oh, goodness. That's a little heavy, especially when you're already tired. But it's good. It's good. Ah, goodness. Yeah, man, it's nice, dude. I have to say, I like it a lot. Sleepy over there on the. I was trying to figure out. I wasn't paying attention earlier. I wasn't sure if you were on Twitch or on YouTube. I see you're on the tube, man. All good, brother. Woo. And now this is the problem. Now you got to unload these things a little bit. This is why I think about the adjustables, because I don't slam my weights down. I never have. In the gym with the rubber dumbbells, I might let them roll off my hand onto the floor, but I was never like standing here and just let them drop. And that's where they talk about the adjustables, some of them breaking. They're like, don't drop them, and they'll show you the drop test, you know. The rep's got a pretty decent set as well. If you slam them, they're probably too heavy for you. Right. Hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. I'll take all the love I can get, Sleepy. It's funny, man, because I think YouTube's a little bit harder, I think, on the live stream part to get people watching. And again, I think it's just a different viewer kind of thing. And like YouTube is for those that are looking for videos, you know, on their own time kind of deal, versus the streamers on Twitch. And so I tell you, Sleepy, you had me thinking, man, about putting together some workouts and stuff. And you kind of the driver for me trying to the dumbbell thing, man. Because after you had mentioned the other day and asking about working out and all that good stuff, I was like, I wonder if I can set up my regular camera, which I do have it over there, to film me doing this. And then as I have time, but you already know I post my VODs on YouTube anyway, and I will cut them down from time to time, especially for the face stuff. As I had time, I'll do the edits. But I was like, I never record with my Sony camera. It's usually used for streaming, and so I got it over there now recording. And I'm gonna see what it looks like for the workout part of it, and see what I might be able to put together on that. It's funny, one of my board members, she mentioned doing men's Bible study videos. And I'm like, when? I don't have time. It's like, I'd love to. There's a lot of things I would love to do. But having time to do everything is the hard part. And so like even the videos and the streams and trying to make clips and all that good stuff, I don't always get to because of the time. We'll be looking for it. I'll let you know when it's out there, man. So here's one for you. Luke 14:28. For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost? Man, does that not speak to sort of what I was saying about having the time and being able to do everything I want to do? There's a cost to it, right? Something I have to give up, something I have to put time into or whatever that may not be part of the real mission. And so I can get entangled in the idea of making YouTube videos versus streaming. Because I can think about YouTube and, hey, you know, once I put a video out there, man, it might pop off someday and then I get 1,000 followers or whatever. Whereas on Twitch, most likely it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 people for a while, you know. Which is cool because I like having the conversations. But some people say, and I was actually listening to a training on this a while back. Actually, it's from the NCMS, Nerd Culture Ministry Summit. One of the dudes there, he was like, put forth the energy toward YouTube. Do your videos, do more videos and less streaming. And I'm like, on the ministry front, for me, you miss out on the real, again, mission to me. The mission to me is the one-on-one or the back and forth talk versus me putting out a YouTube video and getting some comments on it. I can't go back and forth with it. And so the mission for me isn't making money. The mission for me is serving others. And again, putting some kind of encouraging content out there or whatever. I know what all is in the faith or in the fitness and health portion of Twitch, because I have a lot of channels blocked. I have a lot of categories blocked. And so in doing this, while that wasn't my original intent, in doing this, I know that I'm putting out content that is different than much of the other stuff that's on here. And so maybe, you know, maybe this is where the Lord's got me right now. The vision affects the strategy. There you go. See, if I could have said it like you, Sleepy, man, I'd have it made. But you're right. It's what do you focus on? Like, am I focused on just gaining followers and getting monetization or what? Or am I focused on actually serving people? And more importantly, for me, serving the Lord. And I don't say that to say, you know, oh, I'm better than anybody else or anything like that. It's just, that's the truth. The world needs more people like me. I don't know about that, but they need more people chasing after Jesus. Rightly. It's funny because you say that, and we've been looking at 1 Corinthians and Paul and his imitate me while I imitate Christ. And I'm like, dude, I don't think I've ever told anybody imitate me while I follow Christ. I want to follow him close enough to where I might be an example, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. But again, it's what are you setting out for, right? And if you make any kind of content or anything like that, what is your purpose behind the content? And for me, it's not about making YouTube videos while I would like to, because I do understand the evergreen content idea that is out there. I love to sit down and do Bible studies and post a 10, 15 minute Bible study video or something like that might pop off one day. But to do that, I got to give up something else. And so again, it goes back to the mission and vision. And it's accounting the cost. It's like, what is the cost worth? Because for me to sit down and make a video, let me say this. It's going to be me giving up one of these nights, one of my workout nights, or my church nights. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up either one of those. So until I don't know until the mission changes, this is what I'm doing, and I'll make videos whenever I can make videos, or I can try to make videos while I'm doing this. But I feel like, you know, Monday night was the first night I was gonna try this with that camera. And sometimes, man, I struggle. I'll get my mind looking at other things, or, you know, thinking about, oh, YouTube, and I'm looking at other people doing, for instance, looking at fitness channels and seeing them with videos with, like, you know, 2 million views and stuff like that. And it can almost be as distracting as the lottery, honestly. Because you think about the lottery. Man, if I just choose those right 6 numbers one time, that's all I need, and then I got it made. Well, you can look at YouTube and content creation the same way and think, one of these days I'm gonna put out that video and I'm gonna get it made. I'm gonna be made, you know. And maybe that ain't God's plan for you. Maybe that ain't God's plan for me. I do say this in my situation. A lot of times I have thought that God has allowed me to stay slow, or stay small, or a small church as I have, or small followers as I have, whatever, because he knows that if I do start to gain more and more and more, then it's going to be a detriment. It's going to be a danger for me. And it could be, like, say I got a YouTube video to pop off or whatever, and all of a sudden I'm monetized, and it's looking like I'm going to stay monetized, all that good stuff. Well, that would cause me to leave a job where I'm better suited for, or being very well taken care of in it, and taking care of my wife as well. And so he's like, you're not ready for that. You don't need that right now. So I wrestle with that sometimes. And I think, you know, even Christian Ninja was talking about it, I think today, and how we all of us as content creators sometimes, and preachers or whatever, we can find ourselves wanting that one video, or that one short or whatever to pop off. But again, you got to stay focused on the mission, the vision, God's plan. And for me, his plan is what I need to focus on, and not mine. I pray that my plan would line up with what his plan is. And trust, right? It's all about trust as well. All right. I mean, if he's my father, I got to trust him that he knows better than I do, that's for sure. Woo, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Shaq, you know, man, we had such a good conversation the first night you popped in on here, man. I was on such a high for so long, and recognizing, you know, that's what this is all about. Because I realized that if I had 10 people watching that night and 10 people chatting, how good of a conversation would you and I have had? Much less you see people with hundreds of followers, subscribers, whatever, and chats going back and forth and everything. You can't have conversation with people like that. You can barely catch a chat on that. And so I am thankful for the conversation you and I had. And I'm thankful for any conversations I have on here. Man. And once again, this is the only thing, again, having to break them down every time. Uh-oh, when my lights went out. My rechargeable light behind me went out. But this ain't too bad, it's just a little annoyance, right? Talking about paying the price, and if I want to get adjustables, then I gotta pay the price, right? We done talked about that price. They ain't cheap. My phone at, gotta find out what I gotta do. 12, 35, 12. All right, this one here, let's see, seated dumbbell press. So this is a real shoulder thing, man. It's funny how everything happens for a reason. Honestly, that night I was in such a bad place. I felt like I had no one to talk to and just happened to come across the channel. Man, and I tell you, dude, I'm blown away, because I think and I felt like everything we talked about was set up and meant to be talked about. And God had a plan in that as far as what I was talking about, which was heart and chest, you know, chest night that night too. And then like I read, you know, the song lyrics that came on that pointed me to the Ezekiel scripture and all that, man. It just seemed like everything was, and honestly, I needed that. You needed that. I know I needed that. Bro, you know, and life is like that, ain't it? You know, it's difficult as it is. You ain't alone. That's the thing I always want to make sure people know. You're not alone. Always going to tell you Christ is with you, God's with you. But also, I mean, that's my heart for my church and for our Discord and all that good stuff, and our text. We got a text group and all that, because I want everybody that we have contact with to know they're not alone. And my vision, speaking of vision in my church, was to one day, because my wife has bad anxiety, she doesn't go out of the house, all that good stuff. And so I see the loneliness that she suffers from. Excuse me. And even with our old church, when she wasn't showing up for a long time, nobody really reached out to her to let her know, you know, hey, we miss you, we're thinking about you, whatever. And so I recognize how much loneliness there is in the world. Just as I say, I recognize it. I know there's a little bit. I have a small view of it. And so my vision for our church one of these days, and for our Discord, and whatever other electronic communication we come up with or is developed between now and then, is for somebody to come on and say that you're having a hard time and you need somebody to talk to, and bam, somebody gets the notification that you posted something and they're there. And we're nowhere near that right now, but that's really my heart, my vision for our church and for our Discord and our ministry, is to become a place that people can go to and find others that will love them, care for them, encourage them, build them up, all that good stuff. Because I don't want nobody to think that they're all alone, man, because you're not. There's a lot of people. I was telling my wife the other day, can't remember what she was thinking. If it was loneliness she was battling, something. And I was like, imagine if all the lonely people talked to all the lonely people. Like, then we wouldn't have no lonely people, right? And so that's been my vision for INNOVATE, man. An ideal goal, yeah. I pray that we get there one day. Hopefully, we'll see. But little by little, right? You gotta set forth the vision, write it down, and then put in the intentional steps, I will say, to make it happen as well. This I have to be careful with. I feel that shoulder just a little bit. So I don't think I'm gonna go up in weight because I'm just kind of feeling the shoulder light. It's not horrible, I just feel it. So it ain't that bad, but I don't want to do anything stupid. And it's funny because what night was that? I don't remember what night it was. Maybe it was Monday. I don't remember. If it was, I don't remember what night it was. But one night I was gonna. There's another night I was thinking about filming myself, or just streaming. And I think I was gonna work out, but I wasn't gonna stream. And I did one of my exercises, and it hurt my shoulder. And I'm like, ooh, this ain't good. And the thing is, if I would have streamed that night, I probably would not have done that exercise. But, so then I had to take a little time off too. I actually took all, was it last week? Yeah, I don't think I streamed it all last week, did I? I think Monday was the night I was gonna work out that week, or Tuesday, whatever. And wasn't gonna stream. And I actually took the week off, didn't have Bible study that week either with church. And sometimes I gotta do that. I try to watch out, self-care, take care of myself too. Because I can try to do too much. Imagine that. And so I did talk to my church board, told them, I was like, this year here, I'm gonna make sure every 6 weeks or so I take a week off. And that doesn't mean Sunday. My Sunday sermons and Sunday church service isn't that bad for me to put together. It's actually, you know, it's enjoyable to be honest, but I'm like, what else would I do? Because again, me and her, she don't go nowhere, so we don't go to church outside of here. Got that NF going on, Sleepy. But so, I mean, even like work, I'm trying to get where I take a day or two off a month. And I've been there 20 plus years, so I got time saved up. But anyway, so that's kind of my vision, my hope. I have that as far as the Discord, all that good stuff. Another thing I thought about doing, excuse me, was one day maybe expanding out to where, and I need to figure out how to do it. Like my mom, she lives in a, a senior apartment facility. It's like they're free to go and everything else. It's not like assisted living, but it's 55 and up. She's not technical at all. And she's not the type of person to do this at all. But I'm like, you know, I know they have a congregation area where they can go out and hang out. I'm like, if I could have somebody that could go there or live there and was able to set up the stream or set up the Zoom or whatever, and those people could be involved as well in what we do for church, that would be pretty cool to me. You know, I thought about like apartment complexes like that. You know, I know there's Church Anywhere, I think they have a good prison ministry that they also do. It's very similar. So they have a pastor for each place they do as well. And they've been around a long time. But that's another vision I have. Paul says in Philippians chapter 3, verse 13 through 14, one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal. What have you left behind? And I will, you know, your girlfriend broke up. Press on toward the goal. He says, forget what lies behind and strain forward to what lies ahead. And see, it's one of my things with my wife. She'll, and I've never been this way really. I don't live in the past. I focus so much on what's coming ahead. I have so much hope and dreams for what's down the road. And for some of us, like in her case, she's only known, you know, anxiety and all that. And so you can get, with mental illness, you can get to the point where hope is difficult, let's say it that way. And so for me, it's like, you know, and maybe just because she's female as well, I don't know. But she hangs on to a lot of the school memories and when things were good kind of memories and all that good stuff. And I'm like, man, we got like another, if we're lucky, if we're blessed, and for long life, another 30 plus years, you know, that could turn out to be better than the 50 we left behind. And so I want to strain forward to the goal, to the plan, to the vision that God has given me or that He has for me, instead of focusing on what I left behind, what decisions did I not make right. Sleepy, do you know Beard the Lion, the band? I know we got similar music styles. So they're like one of my favorites, man. The way they can, their songs are biblical stories. And got a Wretch Like Me. I think that's what's on right now. They ain't the ones that did. No, they didn't do Ransom. Or did they do? Yeah, they did Ransom. They did I Am. Yeah, I Am the Ransom. Another awesome song. Oh, I'm not actually. Beard the Lion. So Beard the Lion. You'll love them. Look up that Wretch Like Me. Once you get on Wretch Like Me, you'll find all the other stuff. Wretch Like Me is retelling the story of the woman touching the hem of Jesus. There's actually a few different stories, because also got the woman that was going to Jesus, actually in my ear right now, who was going to Jesus wanting her daughter to be healed, and he tells her, you know, he goes, I came for the Jews first. And she's like, but even dogs eat from the crumbs of the table. That's what they're talking about right now. It is just so good, man. They have some that are more, not quite as heavy, but I'll tell you, Wretch Like Me and I Am the Ransom. Dude, that one is, whoo. I Am the Ransom is one of my absolute favorites too. All right, one of my favorite exercises, speaking of favorites, and I need to put this down. I only got 2 more exercises left, and this is Skullcrushers. And I'm gonna try it with the old dumbbell. We're gonna see. I mean, I always did it with the dumbbell, but with what I got here. I'm gonna do it 25s first, just to see how it feels. The good tricep exercise. All right, it ain't too bad. I gotta be careful of that shoulder, like I said, that's all I'm trying to do. So I get the weight behind my head, both hands like this, and then up, out. You have to watch out, don't hit yourself in the back of the head with a dumbbell though, it don't feel good. About to need a helmet. This is real good for getting that knot in that tricep. And be careful taking it over your head. I'm not gonna go too heavy on that, because again, it's another one of those, just a little bit on the shoulder. That's 25. I could possibly go more, but I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna play safe. Oh, what is our other song, man? Yeah, that's wretch like me. Oh, captain of the host. Because that is Jesus walking on the water and them in the storm, all that good stuff. They're telling that story. It's another one that's great. Yeah, let's see, is that the same album? Nah. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, you'll like them, no doubt. Let's get that one. Old Sleeper, there we go. Old Sleeper is one of my old school favorites, man. My wife's like, why they got a pentagram? I have to tell her, you know, it's the horns being cut off of the pentagram. She don't like it at all. That's all right, though. It's all right. What else we got for tonight? So I usually come up with a little bit of a theme, and then I'll try to find some verses to go along with it. Not too much work involved in this. Proverbs 16:3. This has always been one of those verses that really annoyed me. And yes, I can say, even as a pastor, there are scriptures that annoy me. I'll explain. Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. Now I'm at a different place now and I see this. But when you're not working where you want to be working or doing the job you want to be doing, and somebody gives you that scripture, like, but I don't want to be doing this. And so it's hard to work for the Lord in a job that you don't enjoy, you know, right? It's a great mindset. It's a great goal to have. But now I see it differently. It's got a different meaning as I've gotten older and as I've gotten wiser and understand, I guess you'd say, scripture and my faith a little bit more. I was about to do 14. Because for me now, it's kind of like that whole seeking the kingdom thing, right? It's like if I will work with the Lord as my focus, as doing what He wants me to do, then the plans will be established. If I seek the kingdom, if I seek to honor and do what honors and glorifies Him, then all these things will be given unto you, right? All the things that prior to that scripture are the anxiety producing, you know, what am I going to eat? What am I going to wear? Where am I going to live? All that good stuff. And He says, don't worry about these things. Seek the kingdom first and all these things will be given unto you. And so it's kind of like wrestling with your plan and wrestling with your goals. Remember, it's good to write them down. It's good to set out a plan. And then He would say, for that scripture, work like you're working for Him, and then He will establish your plans. And that means intentional to me. That means being intentional in what I set out to do, where I want to go, how I'm going to get to where I want to go. And then He will help make that plan. He'll reveal, let me say it that way, He'll reveal the plan to you. Because you might start to work on something, think that's, and it might just be a stepping stone to get you to where He wants you to be. All right. I do love Skullcrusher, man. I'll tell y'all, man, this has been good for me. I know I got this stuff and all that, and I'm not saying I'm going to get away from my heavy weights and all that, but I do love dumbbell work. We're going to definitely do it for another week or so. I think it's always good anyway, when you're working out, when you're lifting weights, to change it up from time to time, because you can get those plateaus. And I think it also works different muscles. It works them in a different way as well. So it's good to get that change up, kind of shock them every now and then. Feel that failure coming. So one more exercise, and that is going to be more tricep work. We're going to see how much of it we can do. Yeah. Gotta make my records here. Gotta write it down, man, right? It's funny, I go from Beard the Lion and the metal stuff to Caleb Gordon and the rap stuff. Which is funny, I think before Beard the Lion and before O Sleeper, it was NF. And so, yeah, so I think I was doing this on ropes. Because here I got like some high weights for tricep extension. It says dumbbell, and that's the only problem with strong app. Sometimes it may not have the workout you're looking for. And you have to make it fit kind of deal. As long as it's something you keep a record of, right? So like if it's cable work, it doesn't have a whole lot of cable work on the app. And so I would put it in there as a dumbbell workout or something else. And get everything else ready. So these are pretty well lightweight. We're gonna do 15s, I believe. I'm gonna break these down. No, that's right, I don't need to break them down because I'm gonna be using them again. We got legs Friday night. And I will tell you, I don't like doing legs with dumbbells. I may end up doing, can't even think of the name of them now. Lunges, I'm not a big fan of lunges. How would you recommend mixing it up to get through a plateau? I think it's just a matter of doing something do something that targets the same muscles, but maybe not the same way. So it's kind of like with this here. It's like I'm going from usually doing barbell to doing dumbbells. The next thing would be no weight, just doing body weight or bands or something of that nature. You know, even that little bit can change it up enough. Because as you see, even here, it's like I'm not lifting with dumbbells the same weight I might do with the barbell. Higher reps, lower reps, all those kind of things. Changing it up. Don't do it like all the time. I mean, I've been doing the same thing now for 6 or 7 weeks, I think. I think that's how many weeks we're in the year so far. And so maybe every other month or something like that, or maybe 6 weeks. I don't know. I just kind of felt like this was time to do it now, really. But maybe 6 weeks do the same thing, and then go and do something different. Plateaus suck, man. But they come. Ooh, drop that one. Luckily it wasn't on my foot. But you know, I mean, plateaus are part of life, right? In all things. In weight loss, in money making, in career, and we plateau in all of it. All right, go ahead and sit down. You can do these. These are tricep extension. I'm doing them like this, which is similar to the Skullcrusher. I always think of them as being like a like hammering kind of deal. They call this, you know, hammer curl. I don't know why they don't call that hammer tricep, whatever. Can't tell if I'm at a plateau or if I've reached my genetic potential. I can't tell you for sure, but I would say probably more of a plateau than your absolute potential. There are people out there that, you know, do amazing things once they get past their plateau, and even at higher ages and everything else. And so I think what I have come to realize for myself here recently, and I watched one of my buddies, he's an old pastor, he was lifting like heavy stuff, and he's probably 10 years older than me. And now I don't think he's really lifting like that anymore. And I know it's a cool thing. It's encouraging to continue to gain strength. But to do that, I got to keep putting my body under extreme stress. And I think at some point I'm going to have to say, you're not going to be able to get stronger and stronger and stronger. You're going to have to change it up, do low reps, high reps and lower weight, that kind of stuff to keep from possibly injuring myself. Now, I'm not there yet, but I can see that down the road for sure. And like this, even triceps, dude, there's like, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 different exercises you can do to change up tricep work. It's funny, we were talking about the gym earlier, and that's one thing I don't do here. Is I used to do I would do flat, I would do incline, and I would do decline. And decline was always the funnest because it felt like it was the one I was the strongest on. And that's something I hadn't done in forever now. But I don't know why, I don't trust this bench doing heavy weight. And so I'm not gonna try, and then I'm down here by myself anyway. I don't need to get stuck in no kind of situation. Hard to do declines even with the bars, the safety bars, so. Wears on the elbow just a little bit, not like in a bad way, just it's not used to being worked. You know, man, and I've talked about that on here too. I know everyone hates leg day, but that workout is the one I get the most satisfaction out of. With that one, I don't hate it as much anymore. I used to, but there were exercises I did like doing. Like I love squat, I love deadlift, I love leg press. I just don't like lunges. I hate lunges. And so I rarely ever do lunges. And with the legs, you can lift and you can move so much weight as well. And so it was one that really kind of stroked the ego a little bit too. Because I can remember being a little bit younger and pushing leg press, like some heavy weight. And even before COVID came, I was in the 300s on leg press, on squat and deadlift. And I'm wondering now if I can get back there. And that was big for me. That was heavy for me. The leg press I was always able to do pretty high weight, but I shied away from the squats and deadlifts for a long time doing heavy weight. My wife's got some little guys that she used to babysit, and one of them's been sending her, he'll send her a picture of him working out or video or whatever, and he's telling her what he's maxed out at. I think he maxed out as 1 rep on squat like 400 the other week. Yeah, that's right, man. It is too easy to screw something up. That's why I shied away from them for a long time, because you got to make sure you know what you're doing on that. It's dangerous. And that's the thing, it's like when you're dealing with the heavy weights, it's too easy to mess up. And that's why I try to stay under control. With age comes wisdom. Or is it with wisdom comes age? All right, pop them in there. All right, man. Got a full dumbbell workout. Feeling good. First time I've done that in a while. 22 sets, 13,400 pounds moved, and 10 PRs because there are exercises I did tonight that I had not done on the app before. And so I do have a day, an arm day built in here too, because sometimes if I feel really good on like a Saturday and I have time, you might see me stream on a Saturday from time to time, a workout, or I might pop on and do some gaming, but I don't do a whole lot of gaming anyway, so. But I would like to get me an arm day in here too at some point. But so let's see. I didn't get through all the scriptures, but it'd be all right. It'll be all right, right? So overall though, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Definitely a good workout tonight. The first time I've done the old dumbbells in a while, and it was good. Everything I wanted it to be, just about. Minus the tech difficulties early on, right? Those were a little bit iffy. But I tell you what, Saturday also at 6:30. I don't know, man, you know, you have to pay attention on the Discord for that one. It's hard for me to commit just yet. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all hang out a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to raid us over, and Shaq, this may be good for you too, man. I'm going to raid over to Lux Digital Church, because they are getting ready to begin they always do church service on Wednesday night. Lux is pretty cool. Mark is a cool dude. I'm trying to get better at raiding people as well. So let's see if this will work. Oh, I think it pops up over here. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being on with me. And like I said, I know there's a lot of other things you can be doing. So I value y'all. So I'll be on Friday night as well. Uh-oh. Get out of my way. There we go. I'll be on Friday night, 6:30. It'll be leg night Friday night. So hop on with me. And we'll see y'all, man. Thanks to y'all. We'll be praying for you too. Don't forget. Going over to Lux now, baby.